All right, today's topic, terracing. Okay, although I don't know the size of the hole or the slot that this fastener is through, I do know that the best way to keep this thing from concaving or crushing in and thus becoming loose without having a torque spec to shoot at, or even if I did, it would preclude that somewhat or mitigate it. I've put a big washer and 3 smaller washers. Okay, that allows this thing to sit right. And what do I mean? It'll make more sense when I compare it to this right there. All right, the slot is considerably bigger than the fastener shaft. The slot is considerably bigger than the fastener shaft. Okay, I like to shoot for 1/16 bigger overall, or 1/32 on each side. Even if this was 1/32 on each side, because it's a slot and not a hole, you're not gonna get the same kind of purchase on this. It's gonna crush in or bend, or things are gonna move around more in this slot or groove here versus a hole. You just don't have it's not the same conditions. You want a hole, not a slot. I understand why they did that. We can't use a bigger bolt here because the bolt size is determined by what the bolt is fastened to above it, which is a gearbox or an electric motor type setup. It's a gearbox attached to a electric motor. So we can't make the shaft any bigger. It won't fit in what's above it. But we could make it longer. And if it was longer, we could put, 2 or 3 of these washers and then 2 or 3 more of the other ones. And it would mitigate this concaving effect. And what that can do is it can, over time, cause the thing to get loose and vibrate off. And if you don't check it all the time, you risk, this thing above it only being held on. It's already only being held on by 2 bolts, and it should be held on by 4. But that's what we're working with, and we're not going to get into why that is. But it's concaving. In other words, the middle of it's starting to pull up through. The edges are in the same spot, or actually they're curling down at the edge. Over on this side, they're curling down, and up here it's curling up as it tries to pull itself through the groove. It's because the groove is too big. We could have mitigated this some if the bolt was long enough by putting 2 or 3 big ones and 2 or 3 small ones, as I said. So we're not going to get into tensile strength or yield strength or Maxwell scale or torque and all of that, but all of that being static, terracing it the other way is your better answer here, like that.